Hey guys, welcome back for another product review. Today I'm going to show you the new A1 action cam from Rexing. Now they're officially billing this guy as an action cam with some dash cam features. I'm going to more accurately say it's a dash cam with some action cam features and a little bit of 360 cam stuff thrown in for good measure. It's a really unique product, and I think it's one of those things where people are going to find a use for it that I'm not thinking of. So what they show on their website and marketing materials is people using it on a selfie stick and kind of like a cross between a GoPro and a phone. But that doesn't really jive with what I think its best purpose is. So obviously it's made for action, like putting it on something like a motorcycle, and that's how I've been testing it. But you could put it on your bicycle or your golf cart or whatever you want. Here's the thing. If you're gonna use it strictly as a GoPro, as an action cam, it's probably not gonna be your best bet because its strong suit is not that kind of shooting, especially because it's missing a couple of the key features that things like GoPro have. But let me go through what it has, and you can make up your own mind and maybe think of a scenario that you might want to use it in. It is, number one, water resistant, not waterproof, but water resistant, totally usable in the rain. So you don't have to worry about that if you're going to use it, for example, on a motorcycle. And that's the main use I'm going to be talking about it with. It mounts to a standard tripod screw. This is a plus and a minus. It's a plus because it is super easy to find things that use this type of threading, and you can just easily attach it to lots of different things. I mean, everything from adjustment arms and light stands to selfie sticks to this included GoPro mount adapter that they give you. And they give you a couple different arms and extensions, and of course a flat and a curved base, so you can even stick it on a helmet or a curved surface. Standard kind of fare there, and any of your GoPro accessories that you're likely to have bolt right on. So the only thing unique is the actual mount plate, and it is a nice thick rubber mount plate, so I never had any issue with this backing off or anything like that. So if you're worried about vibration, total non-issue. You can really crank it down there and it stays nice and secure. That's the good part. The bad part is, here's why you may not want to use it as a replacement for a GoPro. There's no stabilization. The last several versions of GoPros, image stabilization has been baked in and it's simply been a non-issue. We're used to these rock steady, perfectly smooth video productions, and that's what you get out of GoPro. This is just a straight up regular camera, and it's kind of exacerbated by putting it on this mount, because as you can see, it's a 90-degree bend and it does rock because it's a thick rubber base. So it keeps it securely mounted, but it moves, especially on the motorcycle. And you'll see that in the test footage. There's nothing you can do about it. You can't rigidly mount it using this. You'd have to rig something else up, but that's all you get. Audio-wise, extremely limited. You have a tiny built-in microphone port there, and because it is sealed from the weather, the audio itself is very poor. You will not be using this as anything like a phone for shooting video and talking. You're just going to be using this basically for video or as a dash cam just to record environmental sounds. That it does exceptionally well, as long as you protect it against direct wind. It worked really well for that on the motorcycle. Other than that, we have a door for your SD card and a door on this side for your USB power port. Now, I do have to ding the design here because it's an interference fit. These doors, usually when you have these kinds of rubber flaps, they kind of pull out on the stem and you can bend it and move it wherever you want, but these don't. These just pull out just enough to rotate it, but it doesn't clear the card or your USB power plug. The corner of the rubber flap interferes with whatever you're trying to insert or remove from the camera. So what you end up having to do is stretch this just a wee bit to get your part in or out, and that means this is likely to break sometime in the future. So they really need to redesign the stem of these rubber flaps and give them a little more flex, so, or move where the stem is so that there's no interference fit. It's a minor issue, at least right now, but something that could be very easily fixed. So the other unique thing you probably already noticed, there are two lenses. There are two complete cameras in this one body. As a dash cam, that's fantastic because it's recording front and back, both 1080p, both same lenses, both same ultra wide angle, and you're getting both of them recording to the same card at the same time. Of course, naturally synced, and it's perfect. You can set all your settings inside the app, which works very well. I had no problems with it whatsoever. You can set up all the different options for the resolution, loop recording on or off, what the time limits are, if you want the display info on your video, record the audio or not. I mean, all that kind of normal dash cam and action cam stuff, it's in there. That worked flawlessly. You also get a live preview, so it's really easy to just turn that on, look at your phone, and aim it. Also very important. So you got no screen and really no usable readout. They do the entire readout on this via flashing lights and haptic feedback. There's a little vibration buzzer in here going, which doesn't do you much good if you're not holding it. Now in normal light here, very easy to see these lights. You've got a flashing green, there's no card in it right now, so they're going kind of crazy. You've got a green light that signifies the unit is on, and you can barely see that in direct sun. I mean, you have to kind of look at it and like, is that on or not? Yeah, okay, that's on. It's not like the GoPros where the red lights are extremely visible in all conditions. So I would like to see them change that up. The white light signifies if it's recording or not. It's a slow pulse if it's recording, and it's steady if it's not. That you cannot see whatsoever in sunlight. So you really have no idea if you're recording or not, which is really bad if you're trying to actually use this. The green is important to know if your battery died because it's an internal battery and you can't do anything with it. You can't eject it, you can't swap it for a fresh battery. You have to turn the unit off and recharge it, or you can charge it on the fly while it's recording with a battery bank, or if you have a USB plug on your motorcycle or whatever, you can recharge it while it's recording. So that's very cool. Pretty much extends your usability to your card size. Now, I got about 2 hours out of it recording both cameras, just letting it roll, and that's about it. It recharges very quickly, 20-25 minutes. There's a red light when it's charging and it goes off when it's full. I didn't sit there and watch it, but it was somewhere around 20 or 25 minutes from empty to full. So that's not bad at all for a couple hours plus of runtime. Other than that, it is pretty self-explanatory. Now there are features, as I briefly said, in the settings regarding dash cam use, like do you want it to loop record? I think that's where this thing is really going to shine. The most difficult thing about it is physical placement on whatever you're going to use. Now, of course, you could stick it up on top of your helmet if you want to look like a Teletubby, which I know most people are not going to do, but that is the only way to give you a completely unobstructed front and rear view. And of course, you would have to pay very special close attention to aiming it because it's an adhesive mount. You would have some flexibility depending on the arms that you're mounting it with, but I mean, that extends it up even further. Not a fan of mounting things on top of helmets. I know some people do that, and I see them around here riding with a GoPro stuck right in the middle of their helmet. I mean, it looks goofy. I know it's noisy. It has to be noisy. I've ridden with stuff stuck to the side of my helmet and it's noisy. Can't be any worse or better up on the top. But if you want to do that, that's your best option for actually using the front and rear cameras. I stuck it here, right on the middle of my dashboard. And it's funny, I was putting it on the bike here, on the side stand, and I didn't quite get my angle right. It's just off to the bike's right, so there's just a tiny bit of rotation. It is a fixed lens, so you have no auto leveling like some other tube type cameras that you can mount on the side of your helmet. So it follows exactly where it's pointed, up, down, left, right rotation. full vibration, it's going to record it all. So make sure wherever you mount your stuff, you've got either enough flexibility in your mounts to correct for it, or you get it perfect the first time. Otherwise, your video framing is going to be off. So that's very important. For this test, I didn't care about it, but it's easy enough to just change the adhesive out. And I just used a regular 3M double-sided red tape. It's the same stuff they give you. They give you one pad for each of the types of mount plates for it. So it's nothing special, it's nothing permanent. You could also use the GoPro suction mount stuff, which is a very good option. And if I was keeping this on the bike, say as a dash cam, I would probably use my GoPro suction mount and put it on one of my side bags, because that would also give me a really good view. Obviously, it wouldn't give me a complete side view on the other side, but front and rear and the one side, that would be an excellent view, at least for safety or dash cam use, maybe for action cam use. Maybe if I got it really low to the ground, that would be a pretty cool angle. And it is a small enough camera to do that. You could mount it upside down and just flip the video into your editor. That would be very easy to do also, or even 90 degrees. You know, any angle, if you have it set, you can very easily do that in editing. But enough talk about it. Let's take a look at the footage, and you guys can decide for yourself what you might want to do with it. So there you go. You guys heard it. You guys saw it. Pretty cool new product, under 200 bucks. Link is down below if you want to check it out. We'll see you next time.